Tell me what you guys think down below, how it looks. I know the blue throws it off 100%. I get that. It's just, again, I can't stress it enough, placeholder. Okay, so I got these cables here. Alright, that's in there. Guys, when was the last time you saw a PC so mismatched? Leave comments down below. Alright. Then just slide out to the bottom. Where's the other comb? Here we are. I'll deal with those later. There you have it. Let me take out these fans again and get my power supply for those 2 cables. PCI-E. There you go. What I'll do now is just flex it on top of the HDD base and then just curve it to the location where I need it. Here we go. And just tighten up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Let's get it turned around real quick. Boom. And the last one. There we go. Alright, that's it. So let's take a look let's see how we're looking on the other side now. I'll get to that later. Alright, so just pull it more towards the side of the inside the case and it should be on point. There we go. Tell me what you guys think down below. If I did a pretty good job on doing this. Not bad, right? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Again, placeholder. Suggestion is you could place the PSU inside, but don't screw it in yet. Just you can put it inside, give you the mobility to move back and forth to be able to put in wires and route them from behind. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna work on cable management. All right, so first I'm gonna start with a 24 pin. Okay, the first thing I did off camera was I just wrapped it here to see how it looked. So I'm gonna try it here first. Do a tight fit with the Velcro at the bottom. Catch it here too. Mind you, this is the slide. The tray does slide left and right, so I'm going to fit it in snug real quick. So I have an idea on how this is going to look. Now, where's that cover? Is this it? Yeah. So I'm going to use this as I go on, so I'll be able to know everything fits. All right. Okay. So let's see how we doing over here. Mind you, I gotta make sure that this thing fits properly so that way the door can close correct. Maybe I could bend this in some more. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Proof is right here. You guys can see that I'm able to get it closed and no problem. So that's great. So this wire is fine. It comes up from the bottom. Sorry, comes from the bottom to the top. Just do a snug fit with the Velcro. I could probably get this in. There you go. Get that in. This is fine right there. My only concern was this length here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I could just, let me see, maybe I could just Velcro this here along with this as well, so I don't have to use Velcro. Sorry, I mean zip ties to take care of it. As you can see, no problem there. It looked as though I don't need zip ties at all. Maybe right here. I did put one zip tie right here. You may not be able to see it, but I would just tighten that up right here. when I'm done. This is pretty short. This is really short. So let me see the other panel. There we go. Okay. So, right. I may want to put another SATA cable connected to the power supply, so that I'll just run it straight from down the bottom and up. Okay, so what I may end up doing, I'm going to move this over here, have it come down this way, then hook up another SATA cable, run it down the bottom and run it up, instead of having to run this all the way through to catch it up, because it will actually get in the way. I'm sure it would. So I'm going to leave this the way this is. Single power for the front panel, that's fine. Leave that for something else in the future. And I still have my base still here, as you can see. Let me look for the SATA cable. This one right here. All right, so let's reroute this wire. So I have it coming out this way, so it should give me some better ability to connect it in a way where the panels can close and no wires are visible. So let's try that. All right, see, the good thing I didn't mount it, screw it in yet. So here's the pin for the SATA. Come on, get in there. There it is. Pop that back in here for now. I got it connected, so all I gotta do, guys, is just run it up, up until it's connected. Put the access at the bottom. There you have it. So I gotta put it in a way where it doesn't get in the way of the panel. Get that right in there. There we go. Let me see. Get that right in there. There we go. Guys, come on. Can't beat that. All right, you close that on top, you put on the glass case, and that's it. You have it. We got a zip tie here, so I'll tighten it up later so it'll be more compact. So depending on the type of cables you have, this should be easy. The most of the bend will happen with the PSU cable, and then you run it down, and then you have the clearance to close your doors.
3 days later.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Andre, and this will be a continuation of my nephew's build off the Lancool 3. The build is basically almost done. The last part I left off was from the doing some wire management of the case. Still doing that a little bit here and there, but I like to continue off from that point. What the machine has is basically a used, so I won't say a used, but it has a pre-owned motherboard. The original one I had to send back. That will be the Axial Strix 570 E board Wi-Fi. I was happy to cruise in the internet, and I went onto Asus's website where I came across the X570 series, the Wi-Fi, same motherboard but 2 version, and this version will be the passive cooling. So in other words, there will be no fan cooling down the chip, the 570 chip. So I made a push for that. So that's going to come here just now. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to get this thing wired up, powered on, see if the motherboard is in working condition. The building this is pretty awesome. Hope you guys like it too. If you guys are watching this video, hopefully you got some interest in this case, right, that I have behind me, and it's a really good case. So I'm actually, this is my second time actually building in this PC case. The first one was my daughter's PC, this one's for my nephew. So this build was pretty fun to do again. So I did have some parts on hand to throw in here. So if you guys like seeing this build going through its step process, please leave a like, a thumbs up, and tell me what you guys think down below. That being said, let's continue on with the build. A couple of things I did off camera. Where I left off, I believe, is well, yeah, where I left off from the last video that I can remember was connecting the hub. The only thing that I left out was connecting the power supply for the hub. So it was pretty simple. Just connected from the power supply, connected from the hub all the way down to the wiring that I already have here existing from the PSU. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like a connector right here. I'll just zoom in if I can in post. So there it is right there. I didn't catch in the zip tie because the zip tie was already made. That was my fault. I forgot to make sure that I had connection wire for the hub, but that's all right. As long as it's properly put away and is able to close with the panel, I'm all for it. So I'm gonna use this for now until we get the 4000 series, whichever that will be. That's still up in the air. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead with this build and then give me an idea again if the motherboard is working, and that gives me an idea if I should change it out or not. The build is basically done. All I have to do is make sure all the wires connected properly, all the screws are fastened, and I should be, and then from that point I will be able to turn it on and see what we're working with. I'm not too sure of the firmware where it's left off from the previous owner, so that I have to keep an eye on of the firmware for this motherboard. As of right now, there are no SSDs installed, no hard drives installed. All I have is two M.2s in this motherboard by Samsung. Make sure all the screws are fastened, because the way I work, I tend to just leave some screws loose, so give me the ability to make changes here and there. So I gotta make sure all the screws are tightened, all the connections are completed, and from that point I should be able to turn on the system and see what we're working with. Let's get started on tying up the screws and the wiring. Hey guys, so alright, so I messed up on this part of the recording. I didn't realize that my mic wasn't on, so here we go. So at this point, after I finished up the wire management, I'm just talking about how it was to build the case. It was very easy to build in. The case is pretty much forgiven. You don't have to worry about dismantling all the panels to get the wire management down pat. But I'll also leave the glass peel alone. I wouldn't bother with it. I'll just allow my nephew to take care of the glass peel, so I'll leave that for him. But that's basically what I wanted to say in this segment right here. But I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry for the lost audio. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to turn on the machine for the first time, the very first time. So I'm just doing my checks, make sure everything is connected from the inside of the PC, and I'm about to get the power supply power cord and plug it in along with the HDMI cable to the monitor. Oh, let me just clear this up. I use a display port. It wasn't an HDMI, so I believe that cable is an 8K HDMI cable. So that's what I use to plug into the monitor. In case you guys are wondering, the monitor is a Samsung G7. Alright, here I am flipping the switch. As you can see right there, the light came on the motherboard. Things about to get exciting right here. Hold tight. Okay, so right at this moment I'm just doing a little bit of tidying up, making sure it looks good for the first power on. At this point now, just a mental check, making sure that the HDMI does show up, but at the moment there's no signal, so it's not going to show on until I power it on. Here we go. A little nervous. Oh, the first turn on. Look how pretty she looks. Now what I gotta do is wait for a signal to show up on the monitor. Alright, it's been a couple of seconds. There you go, the signal came on. Gotta flip it now. Here we are, got our first post. So here is just giving me some information of the what type of CPU is in there, along with the hard drives with M.2s, and just let me please enter BIOS settings, CPU fan error. That I already recognize because I'm using the AIO, so I have to go into the BIOS and ignore that aspect of the CPU fan. At this point, I'm going to connect my keyboard to the PC via wire, so I'll be able to hit F1 to get into the BIOS. Okay, now I'm on BIOS. So at this point, I got to figure out what's the latest version of the firmware, as well as look for that fan's error setting. So at this point, I had to switch keyboard. This is the Logitech all-in-one keyboard. Links for this will be down below. Okay, so at this point, I am noticing that the BIOS version is 4602. I will also be combing through the monitoring settings just to look for the CPU fan speed as well as water pump fan speed and disable those two settings. Yeah, so at this point I'm able to track down the water pump speed. I ignored that monitoring setting. Yeah, since I don't have a water pump inside the system, no reason should I have that turned on. I also quickly found the CPU fan speed to turn off as well. I went towards the boot just to make sure that I did have a boot drive installed into the motherboard. My memory was pretty vague on it, but I did have some feeling that I did have an OS system already, one of those M.2s. So making sure that I have an OS system installed, I was really relieved that I don't have to look for a keygen. Alright, so now we're going to exit out the BIOS with all the changes set and see if we get a good boot to the Windows. So as you can see to your left, you'll see that the PC is power cycling just to refresh itself, check all the systems, make sure everything's working properly. So that's what it's doing right now. Okay, so we're about to get a second post. Here we go, the logo of the motherboard, and this is a good sign. So right now it's booting up Windows, the prior Windows I had before on my old rig. So at this point I realized, wait, I forgot my password. So now I have to figure out on how to get into the system. So here I am trying to multiple times to get into my system, as well as forgot password. I had to cut in right here because after I realized I logged in, I was talking all kinds of bullshit. So at this point I'm actually talking about individually uninstalling programs, but I later realized all I had to do was a fresh install of Windows. So later on in the video, I'll end up doing a fresh reinstall Windows, getting rid of everything that's installed programs and get it ready for the new user. What we see here is my old operating system from my old rig. What I'm about to do, I'm going to do a whole reinstall of Windows. I'm going to start from scratch, get rid of all the safe programs I have on here. I didn't really have anything really on the C drive or the other drive. It was just basically whatever I had was always back up to the cloud. So as of right now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a whole reinstall. So let's go ahead and do that right now. My information or my programs will no longer be available to him. It will just be his own clean slate of Windows. Choose to keep or remove files, then reinstall Windows. Okay, so I want to remove everything, all personal files, apps, and settings. Install local. Move apps and files. Do not clean the drive. Delete all files only from Windows drives. Reinstall them from this device. Next. So this may take some time in doing that, so what I'm going to do is going to stop it right here and get back to it. Okay, so at this point it is resetting this PC. 38% counting down. Counting up. Again, this would be a clean slate for my nephew, and he doesn't have to worry about getting a key gen for his Windows. He will just continue using my profile, well, my Windows, but under his own profile. Once this is all said and done, I will be looking into updating the BIOS. Right now at this point at 24%. Keep your computer on and plugged in. Your computer may reset a few times. Okay, just did its first reset. %. Okay, here we are. So let's get things started. Connect to my Wi-Fi. Checking for updates. All right, just scroll down. My little nephew name is Julian. Go next. And then once this is done, guys, I'm gonna go ahead, check the BIOS, do my updates, do my drivers, do everything that the PC needs. All right. Unlock, accelerate device, control privacy settings. So he does not have, let me see if I could get him a login. I just like to talk about what I got so far. If case this motherboard doesn't work, I do have the, I don't know if catch focus, the MSI X570S Carbon Max Wi-Fi. Almost there. There we are, guys. Fresh Windows that belongs to my nephew. Okay, so let's check out the Explorer. Just verify everything is brand new, so to speak. So there we have it. We have a C drive back to the beginning with a little bit of install from the operating system. The other M.2 is a 500 gigabyte. That one is basically empty. All right. So far so good. Just doing some updates on the drivers. Right at this moment I'm doing the IQ to take charge of the RAM sticks as well as the pump head for the AIO. Next after this I'll be working on a GPU. That'll be interesting. So I'll just head over to the GPU plus LIAN L-Connect 3. Okay, so I got the L-Connect installed. I'm able to control the lights, the speeds, the fan speeds and everything through L-Connect. Let's just do a test, see how it looks, if it's working or not. Apply. Did I do it right? Okay, so this is for the bottoms. So let me try all. Apply to all. There we go. Run away. Apply. There you go. So yeah, there you go. So it's working the way it's supposed to be working. And so that's working. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for now. So that's working. Next step I want to work on would be for the GPU. That'll be interesting. So let's take care of that GPU right now. Drivers. I believe Intel have a way of, they have this assistant that helps me detect what do I have in my system, and from there it would update what needs to be updated respectively. Next. Agree, install. Right now is updating the Wi-Fi drivers. Right now is updating the drivers for the Intel graphics card. Let's see if there's any updates for the BIOS along with the resizable bar. Okay, so let's go to the resizable bar, which is located here. Turn on. 3200 megabytes. Sorry, megahertz, megabytes. So memory frequency, DDR4, 32 megahertz as advertised on the box. Let's exit and exit, save changes and reset. Okay. I wanted to jump in here real quick. I jumped into Armory Crate where I'm able to finish up all the remaining drivers for the motherboard. Just to let you guys know, I'm also updating the BIOS. I'm doing the 4802 BIOS update, the AI Suite 3 to do this process. Alright guys, so I just want to come in here real quick. This is days after the build has been completed. I've done a lot of benchmarks. I'll put up a little B-roll up for you guys to show what I've done so far in terms of benchmarks, game testing. Only game I tested on this motherboard as well as the GPU was the Spider-Man game. But I put it to the highest settings available, which was ultra, and just up the top-notch settings that was available for the game. And the GPU actually performed really well. Surprised, I was very surprised. In terms of the motherboard, no issues. I soft started it, cold start. I put it to sleep, wake it up, no powering issues. It was able to see all 4 dim sticks. No issues, none at all. I did some CPU testing, no issues there. So at this moment, I feel very confident of the motherboard going out to my nephew. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it as is. Again, no issues. No issues with the M.2 sticks. It could see all the memories. All I have left to do now is just close it up. No. All I have left to do is, remember what I said earlier, this GPU is only a placeholder. So I didn't do too much testing with this GPU just because it's a placeholder. So because it's a placeholder, I didn't want to go all out. So, but I did do some, GPU testing here and there just to see how it performed, because it is my first time using that GPU. Intel Sparkle. I did some Cinebench, 30 minutes worth of core testing, as well as multi-cores and so forth, and it came out really well. There was no crashing, there was no hiccups, none at all. So this GPU, this computer is ready to be shipped out almost. So what I do have on hand, and it finally came in the mail today, is the 4000 series. For his needs, 4070 GPU, not overclocked, just a regular 4070 by Gigabyte Aero. Is in white, just match the black and white aesthetic that's going on in there. So once this video goes out, there will be another video unboxing it and installing it. I'm not gonna do it in this video, in this segment here. This is just basically a closeout of what I had to get done with this PC. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me on this adventure of the Lancool 3. Another build. This is my second build of this PC and I really enjoyed it. Wait. Almost forgot the cool thing about this case for him. I've done, which not too many people done with their PCs, but let's turn to the PC real quick. Come on. Okay, so as you guys can see, this rear exhaust fan, it looks like a normal fan, right? But what I did, I wired it in a way where I had it synced with the motherboard. So every time he plays a track or watch a video, this would flash along with the motherboard RGB right here. All right, it's loading. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's just, as you can see, it's actually lighting up. Let me lower down the light so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So there you go. So every time I play a song, it lights up.
I'm ready to pull up on you. I'm ready to do what I do. Baby, what you wanna do?
It's a little piece of it. I'm playing a game through the Spider-Man, and it's lighting up. All right, so you guys have an idea on what I try to do for him, so he'll be able to have some sort of, you know, entertainment while playing games and having some light fun at the same time. All right, guys, so I'm gonna leave it right here. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and please leave a like. Any kind of comments, I don't care what it is. If it's like you suck, you're terrible, leave it down below. I will still appreciate it. That just tells me you guys are watching the video. So if you guys, I also have another build coming up in this channel, and I finally, the box is too big, so I can't just lift it up. You just have to subscribe to see this case. It's a really huge case. All I'm going to leave with you guys is ROG. All I'm saying, ROG. Till next time, guys. Peace.